Hey everyone, it's Eris, your instructor, and I thought I'd just make a little video to show you how to use the library databases to research one of the topics that we will find, or one of the topics that we'll find sources on rather, for our next assignment, which is the annotated bibliography. If you're nervous about the term annotated bibliography, what it is a bibliography is just a list of your resources put into APA format, and then each one of those resources has a paragraph that describes what the argument or the main ideas of the article was, and also why it's reliable and how you see it useful for your project. So to start researching, you would go to the College of DuPage Library database, so cod.edu/library, and we want to go down to databases and articles. I recommend that you do this after kind of doing some general research on your topic. Remember that when you are doing your research, you're really trying to collect information that describes your topic accurately. Even though your quote-unquote brainstorming stage is over, really you're continuing to brainstorm because you're continuing to understand what it is that makes up your topic and how it's connected to other things. So my favorite database to start looking at is Academic Search Complete. So I went to General Databases and Academic Search Complete. You can log in if you're at home like I am, and then you get this screen. And so you can start very simply with your topic. One of the topics that I was interested in was how technology has affected creativity. So let's do technology, if I can type, and creativity. Okay, so let's try to search and see what comes up. 5,500 articles. Great. So that's too many. In order to get scholarly articles, which is something that you should try to find with your research topic for a project like this, you would want to click full text first of all, because then you can easily get whatever it is that you need. And then you can also check scholarly or peer-reviewed journal articles, which peer-reviewed just means that it's undergone an editing process of the top qualified people in that field have reviewed it and said, like, yes, it's valid, the conclusions sound good, and all of that. And it's all anonymous, so it's very credible. Okay, so we did that. And then this is from 1962 is the earliest article to 2018. We probably don't really want the technology from 1962, so I would really cut down these dates from about, yeah, we'll do 2008. Sorry guys, I was tutoring students all day, so my voice is a little shot, but it's okay. Okay. And so we can do the last 10 years, and then even before we really look at a lot of the results that we've gotten, you would want to go and see if we could maybe just narrow down by English, because we really only want English articles. Unless you read another language, then you can do that too. Okay, so now we have just over 1,000, so that's pretty good, cut down from 5,500. Let's see, and then we can kind of look and see, what do we have? The ecosystem of commons-based peer production and its transformative dynamics. Okay, so something else you always want to look at in the databases are the subjects. So this has social dynamics, social theory, information sharing, social processes, production. That doesn't really sound like what this topic is looking at. I think that the student that picked this wanted to look at like how like software changes like the way we can be creative, and I think it pulls in some interesting conversations about globalism, like you can talk to more people, or there's more of a community for certain creative types. So that's not really what we are looking for. And we can also look at subject terms here, because is that we're looking at like psychological aspects, social aspects. This can be super helpful if you're not really sure what your topic is. Like something like this, like creativity and technology are both so broad that we need something to help narrow it down. So let's check software, because I said that was something that that student was interested in looking at. Use of sequencer tools during the composition process. Okay, so it's composition, not like our class, music composition. Interesting, maybe, yeah. that could be a good one. So something I like to do on Academic Search Complete is that you can add an article into your folder by clicking that little plus sign. And this one sounds interesting too, developing a pedagogical technical framework to improve creative writing. Okay, check that out. So then as long as you don't close your window, you can kind of go to this folder and then you can check out what you found. So if you're doing like a couple different terms, which you should, of course, figure out what your subject terms are, then you can go into your folder after you've like sifted through everything, and then you can be like, okay, what is it that I have? It's kind of the online shopping approach where maybe you put a lot of things in your shopping cart, but you don't really check out until you've narrowed down your true list. So something else I want to show you really quickly, in an article, this is an academic research article, and you should have, I would try to find about 2 for this assignment that are academic research based, just because it's a good experience of getting a variety of different types of information, and it's also that it's a good experience for you to kind of practice reading these kinds of like high tech, or not really high tech, but like higher discourse, you know, like it's at a very, very academic audience. It's good for you to kind of get that familiarity with them, because if you go on with your education and your bachelor's and your master's especially, you'll be expected to use these kind of peer-reviewed or highly academic articles. Okay, so if you look at one of these, you'll notice a couple things. Usually there's a few authors, which is good. It has the subject terms, which you can kind of use these again to search for something if you're like, oh, this is just what I wanted. I'm going to use these terms and see what else comes up. So then it has an abstract, which is just a summary of what the article found. So that's a good thing to look at, because that'll save you a lot of time. And remember that these kind of articles are not like a novel. You're not going to spoil the ending if you read the whole thing. And you can click on the PDF, can send it to yourself or save it or whatever it is. I recommend always reading the abstract, but then scrolling down and kind of seeing like, okay, well, what are the results? And usually they'll have these headings in here that it'll give you all the research and lots of charts and graphs and all of that. It has 20 pages. I guess I got to move a little faster. Yeah, so it gives lots of examples. Here we go. So it has this like little short 3 paragraphs, but these are the conclusions. So this will get you like, okay, so why does this matter? What did we get out of it? What were the results of the research that we did? In a lot of cases, this is the kind of thing that'll be more useful to you, especially when you're looking at writing an annotated bibliography. Maybe later on you will go through like the actual research and that kind of thing a little bit more thoroughly, but right now you just need to know the conclusions and does it kind of fit in with what you want to research, and where does it support ideas then is really what you want to look at. So the last thing I want to show you of how to use this, so let's say you're like, oh my gosh, this article is wonderful, I want to use it, and I really want to make sure that I keep it and all of that, so you can email it to yourself, which is cool. And you can just put in your email address, but then you can also do a citation format. Pick APA format, and then it'll send you the citations, so that part of your annotated bibliography would be done. I will say that it's not like 100% accurate, but it's probably about like 85 to 90% accurate, which is really pretty good for, you know, an algorithm just like creating a citation for you. So you can get this sent to you, or if you go back to your folder, you can also click on the article again, and you can do the cite button, which is over here with like the little thing that looks like a piece of paper. And then if you scroll down to APA, here it is. You can just copy and paste this onto your reference page or your annotated bibliography. And this one, let's see, it looks pretty good. Okay, it has the author's last name, a first initial, the year, the title with minimal capitalization. We only really capitalize the first word, or proper nouns. It has educational technology research and development is the name of the journal, and that's in italics. And it doesn't have the retrieved from EBSCOhost.com because it has a DOI number, which just simply means that it has a digital object identifier number, which is like a barcode for journal articles. So if you were to put this into Google or one of the other databases, this would be the only article that shows up. So it's kind of useful sometimes, and that's why the APA wants us to use it. So, okay, well, I just went over 10 minutes, so I wanted to take under 10 minutes, hopefully, to show you how to use the databases and kind of think about some of the special features just from me personally instead of looking at the library video. But good luck in your research. Please call or text me, email me with any questions that might come up. Thanks.